August 24th, 79 AD, the day the sky turned to fire. In the prosperous Roman town of Pompeii, life began like any other. Merchants filled the streets, bakers opened their shops, and children played in the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, a mountain so familiar, so silent, that no one imagined it could kill. Pompeii was a city of luxury wine, art, and pleasure. Wealthy Romans came here to escape the politics of Rome. Its streets were lined with frescoes, its gardens filled with fountains and statues. Beneath that beauty, however, the earth had been rumbling for days. According to Roman historian Pliny the Younger, strange tremors shook the ground, animals grew restless, and wells began to dry. But the people of Pompeii were used to small quakes. This was Campania, the land of volcanic soil and fine vineyards. Life went on. By mid-morning, the mountain gave its first warning. A low, deep roar rolled across the Bay of Naples. Then an explosion so powerful it shattered the sky. A column of ash and molten rock shot more than 20 kilometers high, darkening the sun. Within minutes, daylight turned to dusk. Pliny the Younger, watching from across the bay, would later write, "It rose to a great height on a sort of trunk, and then split off into branches, like a pine tree." Inside Pompeii, people stood frozen, staring at the mountain as stones began to fall from the heavens. They didn't yet know it, but history had just begun to carve their shadows into eternity. Roofs collapsed under the weight of falling pumice. The air was so thick that breathing felt like swallowing stone. Some tried to flee, covering their mouths with cloth, clutching children, racing toward the gates. Others hid inside, believing their walls would protect them. But the mountain was just beginning its fury. High above, the eruption column grew unstable, a tower of gas, fire, and ash collapsing under its own weight. What followed was a pyroclastic surge, a cloud of burning gas moving faster than any horse could run. Temperatures soared past 500 degrees Celsius. In a single breath, flesh turned to charcoal. People who had survived the falling debris never even had time to scream. On the shore, hundreds gathered, hoping to escape by sea. According to Pliny the Younger, his uncle, Pliny the Elder, admiral of the Roman fleet, ordered ships to rescue them. He sailed straight toward the eruption. Through darkness so thick the day seemed gone forever, but the air burned to breathe. Pliny the Elder collapsed on the beach at Stabia, overcome by toxic fumes. His men fled, leaving his body in the ash. By nightfall, Pompeii was no longer a city. It was a grave of ash and stone. Lightning flashed above the crater, illuminating frozen silhouettes, people clinging to each other in their final moments. They died where they stood, their bodies sealed in volcanic dust, perfectly preserved by time itself. The city was gone. But its people, they remained, caught between life and death, their final breaths immortalized in stone. For almost 1,700 years, Pompeii lay forgotten, a name erased from maps, buried beneath the earth it once worshipped. Then, in 1748, a group of workmen digging for a new palace stumbled upon walls painted with ancient color. They had uncovered the lost city, perfectly preserved, as if time had simply stopped. Bodies were found in every street, men, women, children, even dogs, their final moments immortalized in ash. When scientists poured plaster into the hollow spaces left behind, faces reappeared, expressions of fear, agony, and love, frozen mid-breath. Pompeii was no longer a ruin. It was a time capsule of Roman life, capturing everything from tavern graffiti to bread still in ovens. Through it, the modern world glimpsed ancient Rome, not as legend, but as flesh and blood. The people of Pompeii never knew they'd be remembered. They became silent witnesses, reminders of how fragile civilization can be beneath the weight of nature's power. Today, as visitors walk those same streets, footprints echo against stone laid nearly 2,000 years ago. And in the stillness, one can almost hear the last heartbeat of a city that refused to be forgotten. In Pompeii, time ended in a single day, but its shadows will live forever.